Today we'll be talking about achieving the strategic fit. As we discussed yesterday about the responsiveness and uncertainty, after mapping the level of implied uncertainty and understanding the supply chain position of the responsiveness spectrum, the third and final step is to ensure that the degree of supply chain responsiveness is consistent with the implied uncertainty. The goal is to target high responsiveness for a supply chain facing high implied uncertainty and efficiency of a supply chain facing low implied uncertainty. For example, the competitive strategy of a McMaster car targets customers that value having a large variety of MRO product delivered to them within 24 hours, giving them the large variety of product and rapid desired delivery. Demand from McMaster car customers can be categorized as having highly implied demand uncertainty. If McMaster Card designed an efficient supply chain, it may carry less inventory and maintain a level load on the warehouse to lower picking and packing cost. These choices, however, would make it difficult for the company to support the customer's desire for a wide variety of products that they are delivered within 24 hours. To serve its customer effectively, McMaster carries a high level of inventory and picking and packing capacity. Clearly, a responsive supply chain is better suited to meet the needs of customer targeted by McMaster, even if it results in a higher cost. Now, consider pasta manufacturers such as Barilla. Pasta is a product which relatively stable customer demand. So let me just consider a pasta manufacturer such as Maggi Pasta for your considerance. Given it a low implied demand uncertainty because it is having a relative stable customer demand, so supply is also quite predictable, and Maggi could design a highly responsive supply chain in which pasta is custom made in small batches in response to customer orders and shipped via rapid transportation modes such as FedEx. This choice could obviously make the pasta prohibitively expensive, resulting in a loss of customers. Maggi, therefore, is in a much better position if it designs a more efficient supply chain which focus on a cost reduction. So I will give you a graph in this video and we'll talk about more. So from the preceding decisions, it follows that increasing implied uncertainty from customers and supply sources is best served by increasing responsiveness from the supply chain. This relationship is represented by the zone of strategic fit, illustrated in the graph which is showing below. For example, a high level of performance company should move their competitive strategy, that is a resulting implied uncertainty and supply chain strategy and resulting responsiveness towards the zone of strategic fit. So the next step in achieving strategic fit is to assign roles to different stages of the supply chain that ensures the appropriate level of responsiveness. It is important to understand that the desired level of responsiveness required across the supply chain may be attained by assigning different level of responsiveness and efficiency to each stage of a supply chain and illustrated by the following examples. Now let's talk about IKEA. It is a Swedish furniture retailer with large stores in more than 40 countries. Now it's in India, also in Hyderabad. IKEA has targeted customers who want stylish furniture at a reasonable cost. The company limits the variety of styles that it sells through modular design. The large scale of each store and the limited variety of furniture through modular design decrease the implied uncertainty faced by the supply chain. IKEA stocks all styles in inventory and serves customer from the stocks. Thus, it uses inventory to absorb all the uncertainty faced by the supply chain. The presence of inventory at large IKEA stores allow replenishment orders to its manufacturer to be more stable and predictable. As a result, IKEA passes along little uncertainty to its manufacturer, who tend to be located in low-cost countries and focus on efficiency. IKEA provides responsiveness in the supply chain, with the stores absorbing most of the uncertainty and being responsive, and the suppliers absorbing little uncertainty and being efficient. In contrast, another approach for responsiveness may involve the retailer holding little inventory. In this case, the retailer does not contribute significantly to supply chain responsiveness. and most of the implied demand uncertainty is passed on to the manufacturer. For example, supply chain to be responsive, the manufacturer needs to be flexible and have low sub responses time. And examples of this approach in is England. A furniture manufacturer located in Tennessee, every week the company makes several thousand sofas and chairs in order to delivering them to furniture stores across the country within 3 weeks. England Inc.'s retailers allows customers to select from a wide variety of styles and promise relatively quick delivery. This imposes a high level of implied uncertainty on the supply chain. The retailers, however, do not carry much inventory and pass most of the implied uncertainty onto England Inc. The retailer can thus be efficient because most of the implied uncertainty for the supply chain is absorbed by England Incorporation, which is flexible manufacturing process. England Incorporation itself has a choice of how much uncertainty it passes along to its supplier. By holding more raw material inventories, the company allows its suppliers to focus on efficiency. If it decreases the raw material inventories holding into its own warehouses, its supplier must become more responsive. The preceding delusion illustrates that the supply chain can achieve given level of responsiveness by adjusting the role of each of its stages, making one stage more responsive, allow the other stage to focus on becoming more efficient. The best combination of role depends on the efficiency and flexibility available at each stage. The notion of achieving a given level of responsiveness as by assigning different roles and level of uncertainty to different stages of supply chain is illustrated in figure 2.6. And what it is, you are getting it below. The figure shows two supply chain that faces the same implied uncertainty but achieve the desired level of responsiveness with different allocations of uncertainty and responsiveness across the supply chain. The supply chain one has a very responsive retailer that absorbs most of the uncertainty, allowing actually requiring the manufacturer and supplier to be efficient. Supply chain 2, in contrast, has a very responsive manufacturer that absorbs most of the uncertainty, thus allowing the other stages to focus on efficiency. If you can see, this is the whole diagram. And coming to achieve the complete strategic fit, a firm must also ensure that all its functions maintain consistent strategies that support their competitive strategy. All functional strategies must support the goal of the competitive strategies. All sub strategies within the supply chain, such as manufacturing, inventory, and purchasing, must also be consistent with the supply chain's level of responsiveness. So I will talk about the table where the primary goal is if for the efficient supply chain should be supply demand at the lowest cost, and for the responsiveness supply chain should be respond quickly to demand. The design strategy for the efficient supply chain should be maximizing performance at minimum product cost, and the product design category for high responsive will be create modularity to allow postponement of product differentiation. The pricing strategy for efficiency will be lower margins because price is a primary customer driver, and for responsiveness will be higher margin because price is not a primary customer driver as they want quick response. Manufacturing will be lower cost through high utilization, and for responsive maintain capacity flexibility to buffer against demand and supply uncertainty. Inventory strategy will be minimum inventory because it's a of and to lower cost because it's efficient, and maintain buffer inventory, have some safety stock to deal with demand and supply uncertainty. For responsive, lead time strategy should be reduced but not at the expense of cost. Here in responsive, it should be reduced aggressively even if the costs are significant. Supplier strategy should be select based on cost and quality, but here select based on speed, flexibility, and reliability. So the key point, the final step is in achieving a strategic fit is to maintain supply chain responsiveness with the implied uncertainty from demand and supply. The supply chain design on all functional strategies within the firm must also support the supply chain level of responsiveness. So here it is, we are completing the strategic fit. Tomorrow we will discuss more. And if you are with us till now, please do support us and let's move ahead slowly, slowly. Thank you.